Wrong lever.
Do 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 do. It's missing in action, the Grand Arbiter and Eve Riot.
Pew pew pew.
Hello, City Joy. We're showing up, and I don't know when this video ends. It feels like it lasts my entire life. I'm hoping it does end. It does.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. It does feel very long, though.
I've never pressed the play button on the video, so it's like a new experience for me to do that. I've never gotten to be the one who pushes the play button.
Hello, Cindy. It's always good to have new experiences.
New experiences are the best. Hello, everyone. It is I, your Dandy Post Dalliance, the Grand Arbiter.
And it is I, Eve Riot, your dandy most indecent.
I hope you are all excited for our special event today because Eve Riot, you're here.
And I'm here.
You, of course, out and about and doing the most in Mesa with the is it Toadstools and Tomes, or is it Fantasy and Fancies? A very exciting book event out at Mesa. Where they're promoting
Tea Time and Tropes, I believe.
Tea Time and Tropes. There we go. It's like it's Toadstools and Tomes, right?
I feel like Toadstools and Tomes versus Tea Times and Tropes are two very different genre of cozy fantasy, but both involve a very cute witch falling in love with a princess. It's just slightly different vibes.
We are going to give everyone a chance to show up, but we're just going to jibber jabber.
Hello, June. Hello, Karen M.
Hello, June and Karen M. So, Eve, you and I hardly ever get to talk alone. This is actually new and different for us. Alone time live on the internet. That's very rare.
It's alone time with probably, not to say that Madame Askew is not equally unhinged. It's just a different type of unhinged.
Oh yes,
I think it's the three of us. The two of us have a different flavor.
I have to shift into so you and I have to shift into supporting beams for the Madame Askew.
Which direction are we supporting?
We got it. So we have to shift into sort of supporting beams to support the greatness that is Madame Askew's unhinged madness.
Yes.
But when we're together, you and I have this other weird dynamic, which is just sort of like harmonized weirdness.
I believe
the children are our future. I don't know if I agree, but
what?
You said I believe, and I said the children are our future. I said I don't know if I agree with that.
I believe a really good example of how our energy is different is when we were at Wobble WestCon earlier this year, traveling with our delightful buttery goodness Bill Bodden and the delightful Tracy Bedden, who won't be here tonight because they're at a comedy thing. However, we were just in the back of their rented vehicle making the most gibberish gerbil sounds at each other.
Yes.
Not even words, just going and to us it made complete sense, even if it made no sense to anybody else in that vehicle.
I think that our friendship is very special because we are both we're all connected. It's kind of a very fun thing about our little triangle is that each corner is its own special chemistry. And I think that really, we have a real depth to us. I'm really glad that we're deep, fulfilling people who are not shallow assholes. I'm so glad. I'm so glad every day.
I'm so glad.
I'm so blessed.
As Alicia has put it, we have the opportunity to unleash all the dandy energy.
That's true. Maximum dandy energy. And we tried to bring it tonight. I brought
tell us about your look.
So I am wearing my easiest wear clothes with my laciest number. It's sort of trying to capture sort of a light, dark experience. I am currently in a Claire Obscure Expedition 33 video game hole. I've put 50 hours into this thing in the last, is it 50? Is it more than 50 now? How many is it? It's 50 hours in the last, it's 50 hours in the last 2 weeks. So that's a lot.
It's a part-time job right there.
It is definitely a part-time job. So I am sort of channeling my most contrasting look of sort of a dark top with a light bottom. That's the move.
That's the move. A light bottom.
A light undershirt, really getting under there. And Eve, what I know you described it to me already, but describe to me again what your inspiration for your look was.
Yes, I feel like my outfit is kind of disco dandy CEO. I own 51% of this company, and that 51% of this company must dance. Most of my outfit is thrift or small businesses. So this coat and top I got at one of our vintage shops here in Louisville. I actually got to officiate a wedding in this delightful blazer.
Yeah.
And then a lot of these were gifts either from you or Madame Askew. And then these earrings, which are tigers. Are by a local artist called Not Picasso. They do sell their wares online. So and Madame Askew has a few pairs of her earrings as well. She's a Black queer artist here in Louisville. She has those big Luna moth earrings, and
we got those Monstera earrings from them too.
Yes,
right?
Yes, you guys bought some directly from her when you all visited here last year. So yeah, I just felt like something tailored or looking like it was almost tailored perfectly for me was kind of the most suitable way to go.
Oh my God.
I got to get it out of the way.
We're going to get it out. So what we're up to today is we're going to be going over Eve Riot. I have taken the opportunity to expose myself to not as many of the looks as possible without like totally cutting myself off from the internet. And Eve Riot has sort of made a collection of looks from the Met Gala with the theme being tailored to you.
Mm-hmm.
Tailored to you for the, but it is for the new exhibition, Black Dandy, and then I can't remember the post text.
Yes, the Black Dandyism, African American fashion, and the theme of the blue carpet was super fine, tailored for you. So a lot of inspiration of menswear and specifically the Black fashion experience through the ages. So we'll see a lot of homages to things like the zoot suit. Thank you, Subgothish. I love that. That's such a high compliment. We'll see a lot of homage to zoot suits, to the disco era. We'll see a lot of wonderful fascinators and canes and tailoring. And we do have a little section to kind of call out gently a few pieces that were not quite either on theme or on point, but we'll get to those at the end.
Like sometimes so we had this conversation. We were like, oh, do we want to cover any that we were like less than happy with? And I said yes. And the reason for that is to contrast where we saw success with where we saw stuff we didn't like. And I think that like part of having taste is liking and disliking stuff.
Yes.
If you dislike everything, you don't have taste. If you like everything, you don't have taste. It's about liking some things and disliking other things. And clearly, your dog dislikes the sound of my voice.
Oh, no, she's snoring.
Oh.
She is passed out. I was like, what is this? Sorry, everyone. My dog is currently asleep. She's also dressed in a green coat, by the way. She's wearing her green velvet smoking jacket tonight. Not that you can see her. But she is completely passed out snoring.
She's tuckered.
She did come to work today. So I wanted to make sure she was nice and
socialized to the max.
Yes, she went to the office and supervised.
Yes. So before we get into our lovely PowerPoint, Eve Riot, what have you been up to? What are some things that are exciting you right now?
Oh my gosh. Well, I had a few shows recently, which was very exciting. I had the Vices show on 420. 420, where I got to bring back the Lego number.
You've been wanting to bring that back for a while. Like,
yes, I've been excited to bring this number back ever since I moved to Louisville, because I found an audience that would appreciate it the way it should be appreciated, which is by screaming so loudly I cannot hear the music while performing it. That is how much this audience loved this number. I literally couldn't hear any of the music by the end of that number.
That's incredible.
But right now, oh gosh, what am I looking forward to? I am running the music for an event tomorrow. I'm not performing, but I am supporting performers by running the music for the showcase of the newbies of the Pearl School of Burlesque, of which I am a part of. Most of my gigs right now aren't till July, so I've got a little bit of a break period to work on some costumes and some concepts that I've had in my potential playlist, of which there's a few songs that our Discord community has recommended to me. So I'm hopeful to get to bring those to the stage. I also got to do some very fun photography recently, which will be on Patreon probably starting next month. Though this month is also got great photos. But yeah, just kind of in a focused heads down state of creativity at the moment, not quite on stage as much. How about you? What are you up to?
Oh, well, I, of course, am spending my time ensuring that we're preparing for Worldcon and for all the upcoming events. I, of course, have also I fell into 3 video game holes this month. I had 3 incredibly successful video game experiences, which is not actually very typical for me. I'm not a particularly, I will consume a video game from time to time, but not to the level that we were playing video games. South of Midnight, Blueprint, and Expedition 33 are all incredible.
The only one I haven't heard of is that second one. I've been following South by Midnight for a while because the music.
South by Midnight was great, short and not particularly hard. Hard on the PC. The PC got a little toasty. Lord Asplin had to come in and we were experimenting to see what was going on with it. And he was like, yeah, no, that's a hot tamale of a computer. It was he noted that the temperature of the graphics card was the temperature of chicken when appropriately heated all the way through.
It was ready to eat. It was healthy and safe to eat. No salmonella.
Safe to eat chicken graphics card. And then, which is of course, South of Midnight is a action platformer where you are a young woman trying to rescue your mother from the supernatural forces of the rural South. And sort of fixing the world along the way. Blueprints is a roguelike puzzle game. So it's a point-and-click adventure game, but takes the form of a repeated experience where you rebuild a manor using the blueprints. It's blueprints like a crown, but it's also blueprints like making an architecture building. Gotcha. And how you set up the buildings allow you to solve different puzzles. And there's a very deep game with lots and lots of hidden mysteries as you dig into it. It's like the closest I can say is it's like a Myst experience, like the point-and-click adventure game Myst. That was great. And of course, Clair Obscure Expedition 33 is an action RPG by a beautiful group of French people, a guy on SoundCloud, and a writer from Reddit who have made it's gonna win Game of the Year by no small margin. I suspect it will crush at the Game of the Year awards. It is this year's. I suspect it's this year's Baldur's Gate 3.
Excellent, awesome, that's great. All right, let's talk about the Met Gala.
Okay, are you ready to talk about the Met Gala? Because I am ready. I just have to open.
You don't even have to open it yet, because I first want to just address the usual.
Yes, talk about the usual
complications. So a lot of people struggle with wanting to feel conflicted about enjoying the Met Gala. And there is some understanding of the wealth on display does feel excessive during a time when we're struggling economically as a whole, and a lay person will never get to experience something like the Met Gala where a ticket is $75,000. And that's just the ticket to get there. That doesn't include, the accommodations, the fashion, all of these other things that it probably costs to go. And to that, I understand that that's a very conflicting feeling of like, hey, a lot of people are struggling right now. Why are we having this very lavish event? One, it employs a lot of people. It employs people to run this event. It brings people in that will then support local industries in the area for the things like the hotels, the restaurants. It is supporting a cultural institution in a time where so many cultural institutions are getting defunded. On a personal side note, recently, one of the museums that I support and love, the Burlesque Museum in Las Vegas, part of the Burlesque Hall of Fame, is shutting its doors down in July because its federal funding is being revoked. Its money is being taken away, and it cannot survive on just once a year fundraiser and the fundraising that we desperately all try to do throughout the year for it. They just can't keep their doors open. And so this helps support the Met to stay open.
And not just the Met, it's also specifically their costuming and textiles department, which is an exceedingly hard task to protect that kind of art. Yeah. So it's expensive to protect clothes. They're meant to be worn and they do fall apart, and it requires constant maintenance to protect those clothes so that history can't be lost.
Exactly. And the specific theme of Black fashion and Black art also is currently really under attack right now. And so getting to celebrate that history in a very public way is, I think, really key right now. And being able to take joy in getting to celebrate that is also a form of joy and resistance. So I just want to say that I understand the conflict of the Met Gala, but I also see the pros of the Met Gala and the good that it can bring.
And if we're talking about excessive uses of wealth, there are lots of other places to talk about as well. And it's focusing on the Met Gala is focusing on it's focusing on a lot of voices that are marginalized. Queer, Black voices are a major component of this year's theme, and to sort of double down on that particular vector seems unnecessary.
Yeah,
we can talk about the complications of all sorts of individuals who attend and the power that they have, but there are many just artists that go to the Met Gala, and they are not all billionaires. Their ability to move mountains is quite limited to they wanted to help this particular art form. And it's a way to make that art known. The designers that provide that art, they are not all the most famous people on the earth. Some people are making their name today with the art that's being coming out of the Met Gala. There are people whose names are being cemented into the annals of art and fashion history with the art they bring this year, and they bring every year. And that's exciting to see new art be created. Yes. And yeah, I also think it's a great celebration of that. I think that it's really everyone was invested, and there was a lot of voices that were able to attend. That was very important, I think. And I think that's true. I think that a lot of people did get the memo on the theme. I think that part of it is that the theme is very engageable this year. It's very visceral and direct, and it's not quite as amorphous. Not amorphous, but
I was gonna say in the past, some of the themes have been so open to interpretation that sometimes it's difficult to do. Sleeping Beauties last year I think was really tough for people to interpret. I also think, even though it is one of my favorite themes, the Notes on Camp year, a lot of people just thought it meant being tasteless or tacky without actually any thought to it.
Yeah, I mean, these are all concepts that are hard to grasp. And I think that, like, sometimes I suspect that the brief is less informative than we might imagine. We don't get the brief in terms of, like, what discussions they have, what, like, thoughts they have. And sometimes those thoughts are going in a different direction than we expect. But I do think that there's something about, like, this is about something historical in context, which I think is really important to this piece, is like, but also there's this ask from the theme this year, tailored to you, to express your own sense of this experience through your own lens. And being asked to do that is a very different conversation. So, like, it's important to make a distinction between the theme is separate from the
exhibition,
and, like, those are separate and related, but not necessarily one-to-one. So, like, if the theme were Black dandyism, it would be hard for white people to participate in that particular context in a way that is, like, not cartoonish. And so this is why we're going to be able to talk about this in a much more rich way for some folks and less rich for others. And really just sort of speak to the experience of what we get when we see these costumes. This is a vibes-based discussion. We are discussing our opinions. They are ours, no one else's. And while we might be informed by our own experiences, that's all. And if we have misunderstandings or information that may be incorrect, feel free to correct us. We are not infallible.
Correct.
And Cindy Joy, thank you for acknowledging this. This is a really important component. Like, we were really blessed a few years ago to get to go to the Costume Institute, and it was a really special trip for us.
It was, oh gosh, there were some rooms where I think I cheered up just because of the beauty and the history preserved. It was a really special experience that I'm glad the three of us got to go do. All right, let's read some costumes. Let's read some outfits before I become too overcome with emotion and channel my inner askew.
Okay, I have to grab my share screen, and then I'm going to click on this button. I'm going to click share.
Technology.
There we go. The Arbiter and Riot Met Gala review. We're, of course, I've accepted the femme parts of myself. It's something I work to do every day. We are starting with the femmes. Thank you, Eve Riot, for centering the women in our lives. Let's start with number one. It is this costume. Tiana
Taylor, dressed by Ruth E. Carter, which as I put some fun facts on some of these.
Can you tell us anything about Tiana Taylor? Who is Tiana Taylor? Do you have a context of who that is?
Yeah, Tiana Taylor is a musician. She has sung a song called Harlem Rose, which if it's not in this picture, but it's embroidered on the cape. She is from Harlem originally. I do not know any of her songs other than that from my research.
No, that's fine. Musician is the important context. We don't want to require everyone.
She was the first person to arrive, by the way. Yeah. And this is what she showed up in. She set the bar
very high. Yeah. I think that the best part about this is that you can really tell that it's tailored, but it's very much still using that zoot suit look, which has that sort of looseness to it, which I find like really emphasizes her stuff. Also, the angles on our shoulders are absolutely fucking insane.
Gorgeous.
It's this great, and the great big flower matches with this sort of like feather component. It's just the right accessories in the right places at the right time, and it all sort of just fits. It doesn't have I don't feel like it's overdressed. I feel like it is exactly the amount of texture. It's got a sort of asymmetrical look, but still carries symmetry throughout it.
I love this look. I love the colors. I love the shoes, which are perfectly colored to the rest of the costume. This is such a dramatic, beautiful look. One of the things that I thought was very interesting, of course, is like the zoot suit was a very controversial outfit for its time because of how much fabric it used during a wartime effort. And people would cut them up. And of course, we don't have a lot of zoot suits that exist today because they were then repurposed after wartime period for other outfits and other garments. So there's your fun zoot suit fact. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's in my top 3. I think all of my favorite looks made it into this. Shocking, I made it. I love this outfit so much. I don't have it. You pointed out everything I love about it, so we can keep moving along. It's gorgeous.
Well, I think I give it 5 out of 5 roses.
Oh, 5 out of 5 Harlem Roses all the way.
Thank you, Tina Taylor, for setting the bar and really setting the night, sort of like the tone. Okay.
Chapel
Roan. It's Our Lady of the Pink Pony, Chapel Roan.
So Chapel Roan's outfit was put together by the costume director of Wicked, Paul Tizell. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Apologies if I am not. And he and her got together and like sourced parts of this outfit and put it together through pieces from eBay, as well as like things from the costume like the textile districts. And I just love this because it is such a disco outfit. It is referencing the queer Black artist Sylvester. You make me feel. It's so her, and it is so right for the theme. So it's such a good fusion of like what her looks typically are for concerts and for the red carpet, as well as for super fine tailoring.
And I just love that it's sort of this patchwork quilt component is really like really layers on that whole zoot suit. Like it's sort of like it's a recovered zoot suit from the eras. It's a recovered zoot suit. I think one of the things I find very frustrating about Chapel Roan right now is that there's this like very strong internet hate movement around Chapel Roan, where it's like, she wasn't on theme, she's a bad person, she's a monster. And I don't agree with that thought process. I just think that she's putting a lot of effort into all the ways that she works, but she has a brand that she is trying to build as well. And this is very on brand for her while still adhering to the expectations of the theme.
It is on theme. We will see a similar kind of top and bottom silhouette later in this slideshow from another musician that I feel is like a good example of like 2 different ways of kind of interpreting like this disco suit theme that I think is really good. I think this is gorgeous. I want to steal that coat so bad.
And then take it off, right? You want to steal it
and then take it off dramatically. Yes. I know she took it off at one point, but I liked this photo.
I do think taking off the coat is a mistake for a long-term game because the coat really elevates the whole piece, but it's also probably pretty warm.
I think this is a thing with the Met Gala, right? There's often outfits. This is not one of them. We will get to one of them later, but there are often outfits that are just impractical, that are just for the carpet. They are not for inside the event. They are not for your everyday wear. They're not what you wear to go grocery shopping. This is one that you can kind of wear the entire night with the coat still on. You just have to make sure nobody steps on it.
Yeah. You ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. We have Adu Aki.
Yes, I actually have no context. I don't know who this person is.
I have Google,
yes,
right?
Please Google while I tell you the fun fact about this outfit.
She's a model. She's a South Sudanese Australian model. She's a very famous model.
Thank you. So this feather collar has 25,550 crystals that took 4 people I think I can't even read my own writing. 145 hours to apply just for the collar. Just the collar.
That's crazy. That's wild. I love the collar here. And I love the sort of like, there is this real emphasis of the cape as skirt is a really big reoccurring framework for this particular one.
Well, and I like it might not be super evident in this particular photo, but the lining of that skirt, the inner lining of that skirt is feathers.
No, I can see it from here. It's quite impressive.
I love how this is a beautiful suit. It definitely it's giving Renaissance with the collar there. And she has a partner who I didn't get to see a picture of until today, who's wearing an almost matching Robin Eggs blue version of this.
That's incredible.
So
really showing the magic of their crystals on display.
Yes, and as somebody who rhinestones costumes, I had to put one of them in because I just thought this was so much meticulous, stunning work. It fits her so well. That pink looks so beautiful on her. She makes me think of the most fancy flamingo, and I love it.
Yeah, I think Cindy Joy, I think they are from the same designer. Swarovski, I think, sent 3 models with these designs on and to share this sort of look. Okay, now we're moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The leather here.
The leather. Jodie Turner-Smith and Burberry. I talked a little bit about this. This one came up in the Discord community about how impeccably the leather is tailored to her body, how difficult that must have been. This is a gorgeous color. I think it's actually a more deeper burgundy on the actual carpet. It photographed more this kind of deep rusty brown color. But this again, from top to toe, the cape as a skirt, the hat
is incredible. It's just like it's at it's just jaunty enough, angle to drive one totally batty. Incredible looking. And Jodie, I'm so glad that you were able to, and Alicia, I imagine you do. And Jodie, it is incredible. I think that the part of me that really like sells this look is that it's the texture is only captured from the wear of the leather. Mm-hmm. Like there's no texture on this garment beyond the texture of the leather that's added through the making of the leather. So it's like there's nothing added to it. It's kind of like it's such a simple fabric in its conception, but it's taken to this high elevation of like, you know, those food artists that like take a food item and it's just like so pure and so refined that it becomes this deeply elegant, elevated food. This is that for clothes.
Yes. And just the way she is standing here as well, it's you can tell she feels comfortable. It's such a powerful pose where she's just, she's standing in it in a way that just makes you want to know more, to just admire.
It's not wearing her at all.
Yes. She owns this outfit in such a beautiful way. It's gorgeous monochrome. Absolutely dandy. Love it.
Love it. Moving on. Joey King.
Joey King, who is an actor. They were they were in the adaptation of Uglies by Scott Westerfield on Netflix. Yeah, not a good movie. Don't recommend. I read those books a lot as a kid, so I was excited but was kind of disappointed in the adaptation. What I liked about this is that for me, this is actually giving Derby.
It is very giving Derby. It has that sort of color scheme, but also sort of like, and then we put a hat on a hat, but then we put another hat on it, and now it's not a hat on a hat anymore, right? It's like the adding of things has taken it to an exaggeration point where it like flips over onto itself and becomes high art again.
Yes, and I love how the embellishments become a pattern. Like it is a pattern on pattern on pattern, and one of those patterns is embellishments.
Yes.
I think this fits really well. I love the colors. I think that they look really comfortable as well.
And they have like 5 different patterns going on here. They have the undershirt, the undershirt, the cravat, the pattern of things. There's just a lot of things going on. I think it's a really impressive design. I think that there's things that I might have wanted to do differently. Mostly that I think that her makeup makes her a little yellow with all of the yellow in the costume.
Yeah, I think I would have liked her hair potentially up or a fascinator of some kind just to kind of top it off. However, I think it's also really sleek. Like it doesn't need it.
I mean, she's still better than I look most days. Like we're not like at this point we're picking to pick at this juncture.
Yes, we're nitpicking. This is a great suit. I would wear this. This actually makes me think of there's a local designer here called Velvet Outlaw. They're the ones who made my fringed chaps, who does these kinds of suits that call back to the derby and the derby suits. And I just really thought about them a lot. I really liked it. It's definitely, Alicia, it's definitely not one of my favorites either, but I thought it was a really good take. And so I wanted to highlight it.
Okay, look, we're ready to move on?
Yes. Okay, this one's one of my favorites.
Cardi B.
In Burberry. So this is the callback to Chaperone. They are both wearing these wonderfully exaggerated wide-legged suits with the big coat. Cardi, I want this outfit. It's beautiful. I would wear.
You love a green. You're such a slut for green. You are an absolute monster for Eves. And Cindy is matching with you. I really like it. I think her hair is incredible here, by the way. I think her hair is like, it's got that, like, there's certain things that you can do with black hair that's just like such an elevation.
Let me tell you, the hair on this carpet, this Met Gala, I want to see this hair on every carpet. I want to see not just Cardi's, but like, especially the men. The men got to express their Black heritage in all of these beautiful, beautiful ways that I just really wish society was better at accepting, because the hair on this carpet alone just made me swoon. So many beautiful natural textures and braids and styles. Yes, she just looks amazing from top to toe. I'm sad I couldn't get her feet in here, but
I think one of the things that I think is that she's also got this sort of like, it's so different than the Chaperone look, but it's still very like inspired, and it's so different from the other Burberry look, which I think is kind of nice. Where it's like Burberry has like clearly some themes, but it's also very Cardi B. It's her vibe, and I think that that's something that's kind of nice.
Yes.
Are we ready to move on?
Yeah. I know we have a lot to get through.
We have to do a lot. Okay. Lupita is doing the Lord's work out here. Like, Lupita Nyong'o is just, it's such an interesting thing because it's taking Chanel to like its clear position in the art form and very identifiably Chanel. But it's so like, you can tell that this is a Black look for a Black woman that is inspired by Black men. It is very much capturing this sort of like, the hat is so good. Madame Askew is going to die when she sees this hat. Boda is doing the Lord's work.
And this is a color Lupita wears a lot. This is kind of like her signature blue that she wears for a lot of her events. So I love that it is her custom kind of Chanel look. I think that the cape, I should have grabbed the picture of her swooshing the cape because it's obviously a very light fabric, so it moves so
it looks like it's breathing on her would move it. It's incredible. And you can tell at the bottom it's scalloped, which means that it has this like texture to the way it moves.
Oh, it's gorgeous. No notes. Perfection.
No. Okay, moving on because we have many places to go.
Oh, wow, another Burberry.
Someone has a type. Okay. Angela Bassett, the thing that I want to speak about, this great suit, love the mini cape, love the brooch, love the hat even, but the cane is actually what brings the look together. The cane is this elevating piece of energy, and I think that is what sort of speaks out to me.
I love the texture of this fabric, this black and blue fabric that looks like it's either marble or water, like deep dark water,
or like flowers. Like it has a floral texture to it too. It's very alive.
Yes. No notes.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
Lauryn Hill. What is this cape? Who made this
cape? Is amazing.
So good. Oh my god.
I am so sorry. I want to credit her friend.
Carry my beautifully crafted matching umbrella as well.
There were some great parasols. If you didn't have a cane, you might have had a parasol, and it was fabulous. I love that. I'm so sorry I'm not crediting her friend here, but I love the fact that he was ready to hold it for her. I love the architecture of this cape.
No, it's an architecture piece. This is a building. This is a costume. This is a building. This is a monument.
And I love the sunglasses on with the hair and the suit. Again, she's
and then just I own that.
I love it. I think the fit is a little off. I don't think it is perfectly tailored. But
I think that may be intentional to a certain extent, where it's like it's trying to capture that bigness. But I think the top end, like, because I think that if the costume had been a little bit tighter, the contrast of the giant structure would have been a little bit stronger. But like, honestly, like again, picking,
and the color's beautiful on her. I love.
I mean,
it's not a lot of yellow, so
a lot of canaries died for this, and their lives were well spent.
Moving on.
Okay. The ruler's dress is so incredible. It looks deeply uncomfortable.
I don't think it was the easiest move in. I have one of these here. They are relatively bendy. Balmain has, I think, some posts about how they constructed the bodice online, either on one of their social media pages. I saw it briefly also mentioned on TikTok, but I love this as a different interpretation of the tailored theme, because not only does it fit her perfectly, but it is made out of tailor rulers.
Incredible. I hope that she is able to be successful in her next movie or TV show endeavor, which comes out next month, which is sort of why she's here. Because of the new Wednesday season starts soon.
Okay,
moving. Sometimes they're out here and they're prepping to sell a bit. So.
Oh well, I mean, I didn't include the actor gentleman who I posted about him on the Discord. Again, you should join our Discord. It's great. We're fun. But there was the gentleman who showed up in like the race car outfit that then tore away to a red suit. He's apparently starring in a racing movie. So yeah, some people are there out promoting their next projects.
Okay. Diana Ross basically stealing the stage with a cape, all capes.
I was explaining this to a coworker. I was like, I feel like this cape is as large as my apartment. Because look how tiny she is in this picture. This is custom 1116. The fun fact about this one is that the names of her children and grandchildren are all embroidered into this cape.
It's incredible. Do you want to hear my Diana Ross story? It's very short.
Tell me your
When I was a young child at Picacho Peak, hanging out with my parents, we were driving to see my grandparents. We stopped at Picacho Peak. During that time, Diana Ross was just there with her children.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out. It was a weird time.
That's very cool. That's a very cool Diana Ross story. This is beautiful. This is like taking your auntie who goes to church on Sunday and then dialing it up, not to 11, but to 100.
It's to 1116. 1116.
Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? That's a brilliant joke. My apologies. I failed you.
You didn't. You never failed me your entire life. You're perfect in all ways.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. We are gonna keep moving because we are gonna wanna. We're at the masks.
Woo!
We made the masks. Okay. we're moving through. Okay. Coleman Domingo. I love the layering of this particular set of costumes. I really like this work by Valentino is just really impressive. I think that the sort of clash of patterns is a real big theme throughout the series, like, and it's very cool. And like it's got some real it speaks to an experience, and I really like that, where it tells a story.
Yes. I love both of these. I did not capture his other look where he got to do his presentation, but it was a beautiful fuchsia suit. So all three of his looks of the night were magnificent and different from each outfit was very different in feel and tone. And I do love how this first look was an homage to Andrew and Leon Talley, who sadly passed away. He has and to Black choirs and royalty. It was just stunning.
Okay.
All right, Shabuzi, who is a musician, wearing Robert One. I think he and I are actually fashion soulmates because I saw his after party outfit as well, and I loved that too and wanted to wear it. I love these turquoise beadings that are surrounding his torso and his back, and the drape of it is so gorgeous. And you can't really tell in this picture, but his grill also is turquoise. So
that's wild. That's wild.
Great accessorizing overall.
I love the hat. The hat is my favorite. Madame Askew, I don't love to wear hats, but I like seeing a good hat.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an excellent hat.
Such a good outfit. Love it.
Why is he so handsome? I don't like it.
Bad Bunny wearing Prada. The fun fact is that this lattice hat is a style hat from his home in Puerto Rico. So I love the little homage to his home country, his home city, his home island. I feel like Puerto Rico's so in that weird state.
There's such a marriage of accessories this time around. Oh no. Did I lose you? Or did I lose me? Oh my. Uh-oh. Am I all alone? Or am I out of the internet? Oh no, Eve!
Sorry about that.
I have to remove this alternate Eve.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. My apologies.
I have to remove evil Eve.
the internet. But yes, this is gorgeous.
I was talking about how much I liked the marriage of accessories is really incredible with this particular set. I love the gloves here. I would very much like them to be wrapped around my throat or something. It's very nice.
They make a great necklace. Moving on.
Oh, it's the doctor. It's the doctor, and he looks like he's about to serve everywhere.
So I actually was just kind of lukewarm on this personally. I think that the color is great and the fit is great, but it's fine. But I know a lot of people loved it, so I wanted to include it.
I'm also just excited that he's there.
Yes.
He's been working so hard.
Yes.
And we don't know how long we're going to have him as the doctor, but it's so nice to see someone so invested in fashion, because I suspect is that part of his push, like part of the push to make the doctor not have just a costume, but like a series of different outfits has really elevated the experience of him. And he's incredibly talented. He can do no wrong, but I do think that this was like less than extreme, but incredible. It's beautiful.
It's very well tailored, and I love the color. Kabi LeMay wearing Boss. I just thought this was a really fun example of zoot suit for the modern era. I loved all the watches.
Yes, there's a real investment in watches.
Yes,
for this one.
It's all about time.
Time is money.
Time is money.
And time is the boss. And it's really good. I think I would have liked more color personally, but I also think that this is like speaking to this person's sense of style.
Yes.
Okay, I get to talk about this one.
Oh, wait, no. I think we're going to talk about the same thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because I've watched it and consumed it all. Have you watched it?
I have.
Oh, okay. I don't remember if you've watched this one.
It wasn't my favorite season, but go on.
It's not the strongest one. It's not the strongest. So Alton Mason is he's wearing an outfit that's inspired by the 5th arc of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which features this heart-shaped cutout, which is also heavily inspired by Prince. So this particular season of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is an anime, is heavily influenced by Prince. So it's an anime character.
You nailed it. He does look like an anime character. That is the point.
Yes. It's incredible. If you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix. It's a very weird watch, but it's a very fashion-forward television program.
It's a bizarre adventure. I also love the fact that he committed to wearing that eye patch for the entire night. He also wore an eye patch for the after parties.
I mean, maybe his eye was tired.
I mean, true.
But yes. And also, I like the exaggerated shoulder. It's incredible. Yes. It makes him look larger than life, which is sort of the point.
Sorry, my dog is trying to hide a treat behind the bed. So if you hear noises, that's just Nissa.
We're on Walter Goggins, who is doing some really interesting work with the way that this pattern pieces put together. It's got some real NB energy for me. It's got some real gender fuckery going on with it.
Absolutely. And I love how the skirt gives you a trompe l'oeil, it's like an optical illusion with those.
It's like a kaleidoscope effect almost.
Yeah.
It's what's it called? The rotoscope.
Mm-hmm.
Where you see a spinning object and becomes
a zoetrope. A zoetrope.
Zoetrope. Incredible look. I think it's incredibly tailored, and he always looks crazy to me. As an actor, as a person, he has this sort of crazy man vibe. Mm-hmm. I think that it is delivered through the costume, but he's still incredible.
Yes. Tom Brown, I think, and Burberry really won this night. So I didn't know who made this suit for Miles Chamley Watson, but I loved the fit, the cane, the color, the oversized, lapels?
Yes.
Just this outfit is so 1970s stunning.
And again, the accessories are crazy because it's these single gloves and hand warmers and watches and bracelets and jewelry. There's just a lot of layers, and they were simple. No, there must be objects.
There must be more. And I do love the deep V. Ugh, handsome.
Well, yes, he's very, very charming.
He carries it well. Henry Golding. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think it's a lovely look. I think it's obviously it's one of the more simple ones of the evening, but it really serves the purpose, and he's handsome, so he can get whatever he wants.
I liked the color. I liked the color and the pattern. I thought it was a nice. I kind of paired it with Nucci. I thought the two of them kind of looked in a similar camp of where we're gonna wear simple, well-tailored, nicely patterned suits.
That's fair. I think that's an accurate description. Okay. This is wild. This is a wild piece.
This is beautiful. There was some really wonderful Southeast Asian representation on the carpet. I know that there was a little drama, not with this gentleman who is a musician, but another gentleman who's a Bollywood actor, a very famous Bollywood actor, was also on the blue carpet, and apparently did not get the respect that a lot of Southeast Asian people thought he deserved, because he's one of the most famous Bollywood actors ever. I did not include him in here because I thought his outfit was just okay, but this is a beautiful piece of clothing that I think just stunningly tailored.
It fits him, and it speaks to his experience, right? That's the important part of the story.
Exactly.
And you know what? I love Bollywood. I love it. But the expectation that the cultural penetration in the United States is an incredibly difficult thing. And if you expect it, that's a wild thing to expect because it's a known problem. The United States produces a lot of content and it's hard to pierce that veil.
Yes, does she? I apologize for mispronouncing your name, but gorgeous. Had to include it. I think we're ready to move on.
Okay, and then we have the Thems.
Yes.
For the Thems, we have, of course, Cole Escola of Oh Mary fame, who is currently finished their run of Oh Mary and had handed it on to Titus Androgenus, who is doing incredible work. Incredible playwright, incredible comedian, and the suit is so like you could feel it as vibes, but it was also like camp in a way that I think is like,
oh my gosh, yes.
And I think that the makeup here is the part that like really shocks me because it's this very like doll-like makeup, which elevates this like the sort of like strangeness of the costume to a whole new level.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. It's a beautiful thing. Thoughts?
No notes.
No notes.
I feel like so Janelle Monáe, my love. I was waiting because we only have 2 slides for the Thems this time. Janelle Monáe in Tom Brown wearing this again high camp outer coat to then take it off to reveal almost the exact same suit underneath is amazing. I love this look. Fun fact, a Louisville designer helped make this outfit by making the head and eye piece. Do I remember their name? No, but it is.
But we saw it on TikTok, and it was really interesting to watch. About how challenging it was.
Interesting to watch.
Oh no! Did
incredible,
we Janelle Monáe? Oh no!
Oh no! Okay,
you're back. You're back. You're back.
Okay, this is so beautiful. Janelle Monáe never misses at the Met Gala. Every outfit they've worn has been stunning. This is just another example of just amazing. I love how the first look makes them look like a doll, like a little clothespin doll. And then they turn into this just amazing, I own everything.
It's so geometric also. It's got this like it does have this very character vibe to it where it's like, I'm not just a person, I'm the person.
Yes. Okay. We can move on.
Okay. So the unfit. Okay. We're going to not spend too much time on this because reading people is not really our brand, but let's move forward quickly.
So this is the worst, I think.
The lace diaper really does not do it for me. I think the problem for me more than anything is that the weird white fabric underneath the legs makes it look like it's her flesh. And that is really unpleasant. I also think the super long do-rag sort of ends up feeling cartoonish.
She's a white woman wearing a do-rag.
Yeah,
it's like when we were talking about, oh, hey, there's a real risk of costuming and potentially like missteps. This is a misstep.
I just feel like the puffiness right on the underpant region makes it look like it doesn't fit her.
I don't think it does. The coat doesn't look like it fits either. It's kind of gaping in an interesting like it needed to be either shorter or a longer jacket.
Yeah.
It needed better accessories. It just overall doesn't do it for me.
Not for me.
Okay.
Megan Thee Stallion.
So this is kind of controversial. A lot of people.
I think she looks good, but I don't think it really meets the brief.
It's not tailored.
And then her poor boobies.
That's what I mean. Like it's if that had fit her chest correctly, I would not have any problem with this. The thing that I actually love about this outfit, which is not shown well in this particular picture, is the wig, because she's paying homage to a very specific look of Josephine Baker's, who has this exact same hairstyle. The dress is different, and the dress fits Josephine Baker. This dress does not fit Megan Thee Stallion. Michael Kors, you could have done better. I do not blame her. I blame Michael Kors for this.
Michael Kors, you should cup those tits better.
Yeah. Okay. So there were a lot of men who just wore very plain black suits.
Very normal.
Very
normal, common behavior.
But I just decided that, this was not the night to do that. There's one exception.
Of the ratty looking white boys, this is the rattiest, whitest of them all. So this is a good example of the ratty white boys wearing this particular suit. It's not particularly interesting. It's just fine.
It's just fine.
And honestly, this was a year to have fun as a to take risks as a mask presenting person. There was a lot of people in the mask section that did a lot of lifts. They didn't do as much as they could have.
Yeah. Moving on. Also in the boring black suit is Hailey Bieber wearing Saint Laurent, but looking like she went to Zara and just picked something off the clearance rack.
It doesn't look like she's fun not wearing any pants. It looks like she was like caught outside nude and someone had to loan her a jacket.
Yeah. Moving on.
Not great.
All right. So this is my last of the unfit. This is Lisa wearing Louis Vuitton. Again, another pantsless look, but also apparently a controversial look because this is the look that you cannot see it in this picture because there's not a close-up of her crotch, but her crotch has embroidery that is rumored, allegedly has Rosa Parks embroidered there. So not a good look, not classy. This is it's just not what you wear to the Met. It's what you wear. I mean,
the idea of that just sounds crazy.
I mean, I don't think it's true. There are faces embroidered there. I don't think it's Rosa Parks. I think that's just something that people decided.
I think it's a weird approach. I know that this is an artist who's like very invested in resexualizing herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's an important part of a pop artist brand. Because Lisa's a Korean pop artist, correct?
Yes, correct. She's a K-pop artist.
And so like she's leaning into a specific brand. Louis Vuitton is a fairly sexual brand in some regards. I think that there's better ways to do it. And I also think this is one of these things that I find really frustrating with current fashion, where it's like, it's the shock of the reveal of almost nudity is more sexual than the things that are actually sexy, as kink people might know, are the anticipation is important. Yes. And there is not anticipation here. There is just, here it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this look. I was pleased to see not a lot of sheer dresses this year on the Met carpet, because that has been a trend of the last few years of like these nearly naked dresses. So it was nice to see that there was really only like one or two. This is the one that I kind of called out because a lot of people didn't like it, and I don't particularly enjoy it. I find it kind of boring.
Well, fortunately for us, we are not boring. And if you want to enjoy more of us, you can join us at our Patreon and our Discord to learn more about all of the beautiful art that we're involved in.
Yeah. All the exciting things that are coming up. We are there all the time. Please do join us on the Discord. I know I'm very active there. So if you want to come chat with me about fashion, please come chat with me about fashion.
Yeah, I mean, if you post your favorites in the Discord, we will definitely give you our opinions. So feel free to post it and tag Eve so we can know to look for it. Thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of Eve Riot and the Grand Arbiter. Eve, is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
Thank you all for being here. Thank you always for having me. I look forward to seeing you all in person in November, hopefully.
And I will definitely see you next week, everyone, where we will return with a fourth. We will have, I believe, the Wild West Con 3.5 is next, or 13.5 is next week.
It is next week. Yes, that's next week.
So we have got to prep for that. We'll get you times and dates and locations as soon as we have them available.
Awesome.
Anything else?
No. Do you want to sing us out?
Everyone, remember to carry the dandy within you at all times. Be the dandy you want to see in the world, everyone. Goodbye.
Don't forget to wash your hands. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Your beautiful treasures. Goodbye.
My treasures.
Your treasures. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.